Tonight on La Rata News, the Bourbons plague keeps stripping the flesh from the citizens. In the last report, 400 new cases have been confirmed. Spokespersons from the Public Health Ministry lament there has been impossible to find a viable cure yet, and reiterate their commitment to keep researching, even at the cost of researchers' lives. Korea's local cat gang, the Fellow Felids, claims third victory against their rivals, racial supremacist gang, the Aryan Whiskers. Methamphetamine traffic skyrockets as a result. Authorities warn parents that young kittens should stay away from strangers on public places, and an educational campaign will be coming to school and sports clubs to deter the dangerous practice of methamphetamine consumption. Sports, unbelievable underground lizard fight club champion Magma Komodo, undefeated since his debut on the sport more than 7 years ago, was finally dethroned yesterday by contender Gecko Igarashi. Komodo, renowned for his victories against legends such as Caiman Cienfuegos and his own cousin Black Venom Komodo, has already issued a rematch challenge. Gecko, whose rapid ascent and flashy technique has baffled the whole underground lizard fight club family. Probably answer in the affirmative. The fight is expected to take place when both contenders show recovery from the heavy sustained injuries, which include multiple fractures and lacerations. In the world of entertainment, exclusive interview. Actor and planned celebrity Willow Rivers Scribe reveals shocking decision. He is breaking his engagement with actress and vegetable rock star Venus Flytrap. The couple was seen together last month enjoying joint vacation after Venus's last tour with her band, The Bad Weeds. Willow, whose celebrity crush on Flytrap made material for a tsunami of media coverage during last year's summer, has denied any particular event as the cause of their breakup, which just might be leaves from different branches, he declared.
Hello and welcome to La Rata News. Tonight we begin with an event that has left the whole junkyard punk community completely rattled. Matthew Rodenmill, the guitarist of the popular band Rap Beast, was spotted just yesterday in a public venue and he was taking a shower. As you've heard, Matt, renowned for his catchy playing style and dirty tone as the lead six-stringer of the band, was no less famous, being the poster boy of an entire generation of young rat offspring who despise showers as the life-sucking invention of a vain, self-righteous, egomaniac and money-grubbing establishment that does nothing but strip your personality away. This is citing what Matthew himself expressed in past declarations. This event has led to an extreme distress and opinion polarization between the fans, whose reactions have ranged from warm support of the rival's decision, harsh criticism, public demonstration of violent grief, and even the signing of petitions asking for Rodenmill to be removed and replaced with someone who they can deem an authentic junkyard punk rocker. In response, Antonio Pellarejo, better known in the scene as Tony Fat Rat, president of the record label CD Compact Discomposition, has affirmed his musicians' right to take their personal hygiene wherever they fucking want. And added that he gives a rat's ass about the whole matter. The bassist and founder of Rap the Beast, Gino Whiteface, who has recently been released from prison, having served a sentence after being found guilty of serial murder of domestic cats, has stated his unambiguous support for Matt. Guy is the real deal. Clean rat, dirty rat, he will always be the Matt. When asked about the kitten murders, he just smiled at the gun he was carrying and declared, "Good riddance, those damn furs."
Before we continue, we bring you a special report. We go straight to the site with our reporter.
You, Heather, and today I'm reporting from gorgeous Silver Lake on the northern border of the state of Mortesania. Surrounded by beautiful mountains, the city is known for its amazing bucolic views and its traditional silver mining industry, and its bustling marketplaces, and don't forget the delicious earthworms too. Eat them while they are still writing, yeah. But we are not here, oh no, just to take placid strokes and talk about the goodness of the food. Sadly, we are here reporting on a most terrible and worrisome event. The flying Capra demon has been sighted again, as you have just heard. After a blessed period of absence which has lasted for little more than 20 years, the flying Capra demon has come to show its utterly ugly face on the foggy night skies of Mortesania, concretely here on Silver Lake. The nightmarish calamity which returns to torment these lands approximately every quarter century has been sighted since the last full moon night, forming its usual antics, which include forceful vandalism of public property, destruction of vehicles and domiciles, burning of crops, and it's notoriously bad smelling for bread. Oh, terrible! And of course the indiscriminate devouring of cattle and hair. The list extends to pigs, cows, horses, and even goats, which in the humble opinion of this reporter feels like gross cannibalism. Oh man, that's terrible, but what is exactly this Capra demon? And what are the motives behind its violence? We asked Professor Ian Nerdy, renowned cryptozoologist and leading authority on Capra demon studies. As you may very well know, this is not the first, not the closest encounter we've had with a Capra demon. Almost 80 years ago, some local farmer found a devastated trail through his crops, and at the end of it was this big, kind of fat creature devouring pigs in his pan. Instinctively, the farmer started shooting at the thing, but it reacted confusedly. It started slamming the soil and waving its wings, roaring and spitting short bursts of fire breath. Then the farmer's family and neighbors arrived with more potent guns. They were shooting at the poor thing for some time when finally a Machetero Corps patrol who were around the area joined, using their weaponry to deliver the final blow to the sorry creature. Compared to this present Capra demon, that one was noticeably bigger, but also noticeably cooler. Its movement capacity, including by flight, seemed to be severely limited. When the time came to perform a preliminary autopsy, everyone in the room was shocked. It was pregnant. With an already well-developed offspring, it was a single Capra demon kid, equal to its mother in the general structure, with the difference, of course, it was a male. Everyone was both naturally perturbed and also excited in the face of such a discovery, of course, and they were anxious to know more about the things. Of course, local laboratorial facilities were not adequate to carry out such an unprecedented and complex study, so the bodies were properly separated, unpacked, and sent towards the cryptozoology department at the Acid Trips College at Mortesania, DC. It's the most important university here in this state, of course. Myself, I'm a professor there. But the disgrace struck, of course, and a flying Capra demon, which we suspect is the one who has been attacking Silver Lake ever since, raided the convoy. There were no survivors, and some mangled body parts were found, most of them charred. Military vehicles completely scrapped, and both specimens were lost. Ooh, those events marked the beginning of the first Capra demon rampage. Reprised 30 and then 27 years later. That can be considered the most terrible of the attacks, and the last 2 decades have seen a veritable effort from both public and private institutions to mitigate the terrible losses and lamentable consequences of the last Capra demon spree. Well, amongst those consequences, we might mention more than 70 people dead and 200 hurt, some of them gravely. Approximately 40% of all Silver Lake buildings were burned, and the whole agro-industrial production came to a practical halt. Were it not for the trust fund, fed by the very citizens themselves from the reliable income of the traditional silver mining, smelting, crafting, the place would most probably have become a ghost town by now. Just imagine not being able to enjoy golfing, such a glorious earworm stew. The horror, the horror. Well, news is Silver Lake has endured and rebuilt the city, which now stands as a majestic testimony to the resilience of its denizens' spirit. Even when it has proven to be one of the most expensive public infrastructure projects ever undertaken by a city, this is more. The reinforced city walls and the new town hall tower, all fully equipped with anti-aircraft turrets, wait ready to rise hell in the once quiet and peaceful sky for more to say. As the citizens themselves get ready, Marshal James Montenegrito, leader of the Honorable Machetero Corps of Silver Lake and the hero of the Lizard Queen War, has some passionate words to offer regarding these most troublesome times.
You remember what happened last year's spring? That awful stench coming from the swamp northeast of the city. And then boom! Bang! A bunch of green-skinned, long-legged, reptilian bastards and toads with all kinds of weapons and war paint all over their bodies. It was scary. We had to take quick action. Farmers were escaping the countryside and coming here like hordes. Man, some well equipped with their guns, some with just their racks, and then and nothing to eat. They said, "Jim, what's going on, man? What is this stinking bunch of iguanas coming from? Where they're marching towards Silver Lake? They seem like an army. Now." Well, of course, our people are tough bones. They know how to hold their ground and deal some brutal death to all and any kind of weird monsters that pop out every now and then and pass. Oh boy, those plays in the comments. And on top of her enormous carriage, there she was, a very lizard queen. Man, yet we fought, and we gave them their word. In fire and brimstone, corpses piled up, the stench was even worse. The leader was, they were alive. By the branches, bastards, up and have you visited their giant manor pits just beside the swamps? Fine fertilizer we have become. Yeah, no, let's okay. You have asked me about that ugly goat face. Well, compared to the quantity and quality of big, ugly bastards we have been facing since my great-grandfather, blessed be his memory, and his buddies first issued the call to arms and became the first generation of Machetero Corps. This Gotti is just another brick in the fucking wall, though it may be thoughtful. We have built our glorious legacy of surviving and thriving over the corpses of our fallen enemies. This horny bastard is no exception.
But not everyone shares Marshal Black Jim's enthusiasm when the time comes to deal with the unusual. Some voices have risen in defense and support of the cryptids. Dr. Yelena Kanishka, for example, is the author of best-selling essay anthology The Cry of the Stranger. Famously, she has advocated diplomacy in the face of the Lizard Queen incursion, and now she instead us to look closer at the Flying Capra Demon's heart.
Hi everyone. I would like you to do some thoughtful exercises. First, imagine you have been living at peace, enjoying a hardworking and honest life at your family heirloom lands. One day, a voice from a big company you have never heard of start coming to your lands. They serve it the terrain, they instantly watch you, your family, and your neighbors. Without any warning, the day comes when they start firing high caliber guns and dropping bombs on all of you. A lot of your relatives die, and those of you who don't barely manage to escape with your lives. Now, you are forced to live in a hiding and seclusion in the most remote, arid, and unhospitable regions imaginable. How would you feel? Would you like that? Would you be happy and content with your new life? And what about your loved ones? That's horrible enough. But it doesn't end there. Now imagine you are working late at a miserable job that barely pays you enough to sustain you and your wife. You are constantly giving your best and beyond just to be able to bring the minimum required to lead a life that can hardly be considered appropriate. But now your wife is pregnant and you must tread the extra mile in order to properly feed her and guarantee her life and your child's life. One day, while you are not at home yet, your 8 month pregnant wife starts craving some food. She goes to the supermarket, grabs a pack of barbecue ribs, opens it, and starts getting a snack right there. But some redneck, ignorant cashier thinks that it's a robbery and a grotesque thing to behold and starts hitting her. Finally, the security guard kills her with his gun. Well, maybe now you can begin to understand why the Capra demon behaves like he does.
Well, can the wounds of the past be mended? Is a future of peace and coexistence still possible? Should violence always be the answer to flying, fire-breathing, devouring monsters? Questions that invite deep moral consideration. Back to the studio with you, Heather, and good night.
Silver Lake faces this crisis. The government of Mauritania and federal authorities, with the help of allied NGOs, are preparing to send specialist troops and humanitarian help to the area. Donations and volunteers are welcome. All routes, both land and air, have been closed and the town has entered a strict curfew. Granaries, hospitals, bunkers, and armories are open and ready for action, 24 hours a day. Logistical networks, alarm systems, and emergency supplies are on standby, also prepare for immediate answer. If you were planning to spend your weekend on beautiful Silver Lake or any of its luscious neighboring towns, we strongly advise that you reconsider and plan for when this crisis is finally averted. As we commended the efforts of the brave citizens of Silver Lake and stand by their resolve to survive and thrive, we deeply mourn the losses, both human and material, caused by the Capra demon. We will continue in our efforts to bring you the best coverage for this ongoing news. La Rata News, breaking news that breaks your sanity.